All right, guys, thanks for coming in today. Coach Elton will start us with an opening statement, and we ask you to use the microphone for the questions. I'll be sending out a full press release later on with the full list of guys, but they are already on our website also, but we'll get you the PDF of the list. Coach, if you want to start us with the opening statement, then we'll take the questions.
Yeah, what a great day to be an Eagle. Anytime that you welcome a student athlete into your football family and their family, it's a special day. And we're very excited to welcome a new crop of Eagles to Statesboro, as well as our football family. These are young men that meet specific areas of need for us for the upcoming 23 season. They are tremendous people, students, as well as players. And these are guys that are going to help us as we move forward to a championship season. So we're very, very thankful for them to be here. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to get this accomplished. A couple people I would like to thank. Our general manager, Ryan Smith, who I think is the best in the business, as well as our director of player personnel, Andrew Bevel. I'd like to thank our administration for all the resources that they supply, our staff, who from whether it's being in a football season, preparing for a bowl game, being in home visits, doing official visits, have worked daylight to dark to be able to put this class together, as well as Kennedy Jerger and the job that she did with our student assistants on campus recruiting. When you look at when you look at recruiting right now, it really is basically in three waves. Today is the first wave that you get the opportunity on this early signing day to bring in young men that can possibly come midterm or in the summer. And then you have the opportunity, basically the first day of school, you'll have your transfer portal opportunity to bring young men into the mid-year semester. And then finally you get the first day in February, which is the first Wednesday in February for the second signing period. Today, we welcome 19 players into Eagle Nation. As we talked about, in taking the job, we're always going to be a developmental unit. We're always looking for the best and brightest young players that are out there as high school players. And 16 of our 19 signees today are high school players. 3 of them are junior college players. We stayed within our recruiting footprint, which is right here in Georgia, as well as the attached states of Florida, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and Alabama. When you look across this class, you see big men. Big men win championships, and that's one of the areas of growth that we felt that we needed. 10 of the 19 young men are on that offense and defensive front. And then when you look at this list, and I'll go through it, when you talk about the defensive front, we brought in 5 new defensive front members. Troy Pikes, who's an incredible interior defensive lineman, and we're losing some edge players that have played significant amount of time for us. And so we brought in Elijah Lacey and Kevin Secca, Brandon Palmer, and a junior college player in Jacob Ferguson out of Iowa Central. One of my favorite players on this list defensively will anchor that Mike linebacker position in Jamari Whitehead out of Rains High School in Jacksonville, Florida. This is a guy that has captain capabilities, unbelievable frame with unbelievable athleticism. Really excited about him. Got one of the better young DBs in the state of Georgia in Aiden Jackson out of Walton High School. We're excited about him. Like I said, big men win championships. I think Richard Owens and Coach Ellis did an amazing job acquiring these 5 offensive linemen that you see here. I'm so excited about our young offensive tackles. These are not only 2 of the best offensive tackles in the state of Georgia, I think they're 2 of the better offensive tackles in the country when you talk about Robert Wright and Matthew Williams. And then you get a great young interior lineman in Ethan Williams that I really think could play all 5 positions if he was asked to on the offensive line. You get two veteran leaders in Chris Carter, who brings tremendous length. You're talking about a 6'7" with an amazing wingspan, 300-pound offensive tackle with great athleticism. And then they call him the Big Diesel, Bryson Norris out of Coffeyville, Kansas, originally from the state of Florida. Chris is actually originally from the state of Georgia, but Bryson has had significant time at the center position where we're extremely excited about the future of that position, not only with Chandler, but now with Bryson. We bolstered, not only for now, but for the future, our punting position, and Alex Smith coming in from Australia, the first signee, I think, of anybody in the country. And so Georgia Southern has gone international to make special teams a huge priority. We bolstered our quarterback position. You look at Kobe Walton and what he brings to the table, the 6A Offensive Player of the Year in the state of Tennessee, a great athlete that could throw the ball all over the park, is unique and special. One of my favorite guys offensively, Jay Sean Anderson, at Hartsville High School in South Carolina. This is a physical back, a three-down back that can not only carry the ball 25 times, but can catch the ball out of the backfield and is a great pass protector. Coach Applin did an amazing job signing two young tight ends out of the state of Florida, and Elijah Walton and Jaden McHale. You talk about two kids that provide great length. They can push the ball down the field vertically, and they bring physicality at the point of attack. Mr. Electric, DeAndre Buchanan, at a Carver High School in Atlanta, Georgia. Not only is he just impossible to get on the ground, not only can you not tackle him, sometimes you can't even pull the guy's flag. He also not only is going to be a great receiver for us, but he is a tremendous punt returner and kick returner. So he also helps our special teams. And then one of the more physical wideouts we thought in the country, right here from the southeast in the great state of Georgia, Katie Dorsey. You're talking about a 6'3", 195-pound receiver out of Evans High School that just does a tremendous job of out-physicaling his opponents. So this is a great start. I could not imagine a better start to this first wave as we get into these three waves of these young kids, now followed by some opportunities to get some transfer portal guys come the first day of school, and then the last wave coming in February. So exciting day to be an Eagle. With that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Thanks for the opening statement.
Yeah.
You covered a lot of the bullet points already. Can you go more into detail on the importance of keeping that homegrown Georgia talent in state?
Yeah, you saw it. You saw it last year as well as this year. It is so important that we really feel like when you see the key members of this class and last year's class, you're looking at the state of Georgia. And like we said, we're not going to be a transfer portal organization. You signed 22 freshmen last year, 16 currently this year. So you have 38 freshmen. Right off the bat in the first 2 years, and heavily from the state of Georgia. It is so important. You can win championships just follow the blueprint of Coach Russell. Stay right here in Georgia, and then follow the footprint of the attached states, and you're going to be very, very successful. We made huge strides last year, and it produced a positive season. Now with this addition, we think we could take this even further.
Coach, you talked about the wide receivers. Obviously, we've seen the change in the offensive scheme as you started here at Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
It's been known for their run game.
Yeah.
So how important is it to add depth into that wide receiver room?
Yeah, obviously you're losing a couple key members that provided a lot of production. It's hard to replace an Amari Jones, and it's hard to replace a Jeremy Singleton. But when you look at the two young men that we signed today, these young kids, DeAndre Buchanan is somebody that every time, the Paulson Stadium, every time he touches the ball, will hold their breath. That's how electric the guy is. And then, losing the physicality that Amari and Jeremy brought to us, those yards after catch, out fighting defenders for the ball, it was really, really important to get KD. You get a 6'3", 195-pound man that out physicals opponents. It's something that's really important. And last year was hard. Last year there had to be belief. I thank the Lord for Marcus Sanders and Jet Thompson and Jalen Cobb, and Josh Dallas, because they had to believe that we were going to do what we said as far as in the passing game. Now, all of a sudden, you get to see that, and now receivers are coming to you, and now two of the best ones in the state of Georgia are coming down to Statesboro.
You talked about it this time last year. You didn't have a full staff yet,
Yeah.
so like you mentioned, the belief had to be there. Think about this day last year and today, how different it was, how more beneficial it is to have your staff members in place?
Yeah, it's so critical, especially when you talk about signing 10 big men in a day, that's critical for our movement. I've always thought that those are guys that win championships, and I think about the job our recruiting staff did, as well as a Richard Owens and a Rip Rowan that are here, elite developers. I thought that was critical. Those are guys that last year were not necessarily were here yet, and now being able to have a full year and to be able to see how those guys are great developers. You look at Coach Owens, whose crew only gave up 7 sacks, which is one of the top in the country, as well as what Coach Rip has done on the defensive front. His development of Dylan Springer and Justin Ellis, Deshaun Davis playing a significant role, and Elhaz Fall as freshmen. Now guys see that and they want to be a part of it. And when you look at this crew that is coming in, like I said, I think quarterbacks are going to feel that defensive line that's coming in, and obviously in the offensive line, tremendous strides. So really excited, and thank goodness to the coaching staff, because they are the ones that you're able to sell. You sell people here. You show me your friends, I'll show you your future, and now having this staff here, it was an easy sell.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit already, but what excites you most about the recruiting process?
Yeah.
What's your message to this recruiting class?
Yeah, I've always loved the relationship part of recruiting. There's so much hype and fluff in recruiting, and everybody has nice stadiums. Everybody has nice uniforms. You come on an official visit, great meals, but at the end of the day, like I said, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It's who you surround yourself with. And I've always believed, when you look at the systems that we have here, offensive, defensively, and special teams wise, you look at the opportunity to be a part of something truly special, and this team and this program is on a rocket ship to success, and kids see that. That opportunity to be surrounded by other great players, and then the fit. The fit that is here in Statesboro, Georgia, at a school that you're not just a 4-year experience. This is a lifetime experience and a lifetime worth of relationships. Eagles take care of Eagles for the rest of their lives. Your friends and your family will be right here with you, supporting you for the rest of it. And so not only do they get Eagle Nation, but they get developed by these guys in this building that are elite developers, men of character, men that are unbelievable, knowledgeable, and competent, to develop at the highest level. They have a care and concern for kids. They're brutally honest with kids, and obviously, as you've seen, they can recruit pretty well. So we're excited about these guys, and we're excited about the men that we're surrounding them with.
So finding a punter from Australia, pretty unique. Can you go more into detail on that exact process of how you found them?
Yeah, we've always had relationships with different coaches, different developers of talent, and sometimes to be able to get elite talent, you have to step outside your footprint, and to get a 23-year-old man in Alex and be able to bring him here, that is something truly special. Here's a guy that can not only kick the ball a mile, he can drop it in a bucket. He's a placement kicker. It also has the availability to rugby, and to move the launch point. So you're getting somebody that has a great skill trait. We look forward to welcoming him to American football and to be a part of Eagle Nation.
Coach, you talked about it's now a 3-pronged process, this new recruiting calendar.
Yeah.
And we've been a few years now into this portion of it. How have you had to change, and how have your coaches had to change the recruiting philosophy to match the new calendar?
Yeah, we adapt each and every year. You might as well get used to it as a coach. I've been doing it 27 years, and it seems to be a new adaptation every year. And so obviously we have a new window, that there was this December 5th to January 18th window of transfer portal, and it is so unique as a head coach, as well as I thank God every day for Ryan Smith and Andrew Bevel, to be able to manage a roster. We've been fortunate not to have a lot of attrition. We have one right now of our own. We have a lot of players that are leaving us due to they're done with their eligibility, and those opened up slots. But, you know, teams across the country are having to manage, okay, what did we lose? And then, you know, what is out there to be able to address immediate needs? For us, and like I've said before, we are a development group. You look at our players from last year that we signed. Think of how significant Marcus Sanders is, and Jet Thompson is, Dalen Cobb, Josh Dallas defensively, Deshaun Davis, Elhaj Fall, Mark Stampley. You look at some of these young players that from the state of Georgia and our footprint that are making instant contributions as freshmen and are going to be unbelievable players. And so we don't want to lose that, especially in this first phase, you know. And so when you look at this, these 19 guys, 16 of them high school football players within our footprint, 3 of them junior college players that have a little experience at needed positions. Now we can see, okay, after bowl game, is there any more attrition? And, you know, where do we fit a possible transfer portal guy in on the first day of school? There's also several young men that have decided to wait till February to be able to sign, and we're still in those battles with young people, you know, choosing between schools that they still want to be able to take visits in January. You know, so recruiting never stops. It's a 365-day operation, and there's still some battles that are out there, and we hope to win those battles on January 9th, and we hope to win those battles on February 1st. All righty, guys. Thank you so much.